So let's take a look at the select statement and how it works when we combine join and the group by together. Join is arguably the #1 used feature in select, and probably the #2 is group by. So when you combine this join and group by, you will be able to put multiple tables together and perform a lot of aggregations. This is what the SQL is very good at. And actually, this SQL is being used in real world. You will find out like you cannot survive without join and the group by in any real SQL in any real SQL work, any SQL project. Any job requires SQL will require understanding of join and group by. So the full select statement syntax is shown here. This is the full syntax, all right? There's no missing clauses anymore. We have already introduced all of them. What you are going to have is to have a select from select qualified column list from table, join table to on column matching. You probably with and more matching criteria, more join conditions, and followed by more join on clause, joining more tables. But eventually, you finish all of from and join. You have a where Boolean expression, filter out the data, and the group by something. Group by whatever is you want to group it. And of course, the qualified column list in the select clause will be a combination of group by column list and aggregated functions, right? Then we have once you have the group by, you will have a having of expression and order by column list, both worked on the select columns, right? The only thing that you may think of that you would to group order by is if you don't have group by, then you can order by some clauses on the original data set. But once you have a group by, you are introducing a new table, new data set, then you won't be able to do group order by from the original data set anymore. Once you have a group by, both all the columns in the order by has to come from the select statement, select clause. And again, the execution order. It starts with from, join, where, right? From and join will create the detailed data set. Applying where will give you the data that you require in this detailed data set. Then you group by on top of this detailed data set and divide the data into subtables, into sub data sets. Then you will use having to filter aggregated function data set and use order by to sort the result. We already go through this most of our process last time. The only thing we want to mention here, in addition to the select, group by, and having, is that when you look at the from and join, look at what it is. It is actually a new data set. So if you compare this part with what we showed last time, when we have the select, when we have a group by without join, the only difference is right now we are forming a new data set, new original data set by joining two tables or more tables, right? So if you think about, we mentioned that if you think about relation, what is SQL? SQL is relational algebra. And all operations of SQL are relational operations. So you have one table, you join another. The outcome is another data relation. A relation working on another relation generates another relation. So the whole part of from, join, on, maybe with the optional and, will provide you with another table. So maybe I should do this. Instead of starting from, let's do this. Oops. Table 1, join table 2 on. This is one relational algebra operation, and it's returning a new relation. So what you are seeing if you replace this part with a new relation name, what you are seeing is a select from new relation, where clause, group by, having, order by. It's exactly the same as before. So when you look at a complex SQL with a group by and having and join, make sure you understand join first. Make sure you understand the combination of different tables coming up with a original data set, apply where clause to it. Then that's where you can start doing the group by. So so this gives you a hint not only on how database, how this SQL is executed in database, but also give you a hint on how to start writing your own select statement. Writing select statement sometimes can be confusing. You have 4 or 5 tables, or maybe you have 20 tables, and you will just pick 2 or 3 or 4 out from these 20 tables. But then you need to combine these tables, and you need to do group by, you need to apply where. So what's the proper way of writing a select statement? First of all, you need to find the tables involved. You need to find all the tables with columns that you need. For each column required in the question, you'll need to find the source table. If I say I want to filter on custom region, custom zip code, you need to find the table with this custom region or custom zip code to column. If I say I want to group by tuition, you need to find the tuition column. Which table contains this tuition table column? And if I say I want to group by, I want to display something like a product. If I want to order by a date, then you will need to find the original table, the source table of this product of this date, right? So for each column mentioned in the question or in your actual work, you need to first find its source table. Once you find the source table, it's when you will need your entity relational model and the entity relational diagram. You can see that how these tables are related with each other, right? So you know which table you need. You can see how these related tables are related in the entity relational diagram. And maybe from one table to another, you need to go through a third table, which is fine. Then you will include this third table too. So you will find all the tables with the required column connected. And then you start from. You find the central table in the snowflake schema, which is usually what we say the most join keys, the table with most join keys. It will be the lowest level. It will be the table with the most join keys. And eventually you will get data. You will define all the join paths from there. So you will start from, write this table with most join key, which is usually at the center of the snowflake. And from there, you will write join, add table one at a time, then add the join key. And which table to find, you will always try to find the one that is closest to the previous table, right? Until you finish one join chain. Then you start with another join chain. So you have a from clause with a table in the middle. Then for each chain join, you go through the chain, write the join statement one at a time, and followed by the on to join them. And once you finish this 1C step, you have the central table, join one table, join another table, join another table on conditions. You have a new relation, which is the join, the combination of all these tables, right? Now you need to add a where condition, which is the detailed data set by filtering. Now this where condition can be applied to any table. It can be a column of any table. It can also be calculations between different data tables, right? After this where clause, then you finally get what? A data set, a detailed data set, which is a direct mapping of original data set, right? That's when we start to work on the same process as we had with a group by. You have the original data set, you apply aggregation. You will add group by for each like say, if I say for each customer, I want to see their tuition. So for each student, I want to see their student tuition. Then for each, you will add a group by. You will add a column after group by student name, group by city or whatever, and the same time add the same column to select. And finally, you add required aggregation functions. By doing this, by adding group by and the aggregation function to the group by clause, select clause, you are grouping your data set into desired subpieces, right? Then you apply having and apply order. So this is how you will like to proceed with writing a select statement. Always remember you are writing a bunch of relations. You already see join. And I think you when we teach join, we mentioned how tables are joined to each other, and you already run your own join, and you can clearly see that the result of join is another relation, and then you apply this result of join into group by. So this is how you can reduce some effort. How do you write a SQL statement? You write a SQL statement by breaking it up into two parts, join and group by. For a join part, you find the tables, you join them, find the central table and join them by adding one join chain at a time. Then apply the where clause. Then you do the group by. But after group by, you add the having and order by. So this can be a very methodological process, and there are tools utilizing these rule steps to generate SQL for you. When you just drag and drop certain attribute names and the entity names, there are tools doing that, and you should be able to exercise this and get familiar with how this is done. Okay.